Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Meta Monday podcast with myself and Liam. Very excited to talk to you today about what makes a good opponent. It's going to be a controversial chat. Our sunglasses are at the ready to help us navigate and manage that chat. The Meltons are out.
I've just done myself a mischief, though.
Liam has just caused himself quite a lot of pain.
I don't know what I did. I was.
You were just doing your usual limber. Do you know what I mean?
Just getting myself ready, like, you know when you do like a Superman pose.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
You ever heard about that? Like one thing you should do if you're not feeling like confident is just do yourself a Superman pose. You do yourself a Superman pose, and then apparently it like releases some endorphins or something, and you're
special powers.
Yeah, you're good to go.
I've heard of the power stance. You know, you just split the legs. It's a really powerful.
Oh, that's like an alpha move, though,
and
isn't
just
it?
stand like that for a few minutes. I
like to do it like, not to preempt it, but like poor Warhammer opponents. I like to do it on a chair at a table, just literally one leg on the, and just like full power stance someone.
I'll power stance.
And
I will power stance.
And I'll full alpha, like just.
Well, maybe that will make. We'll talk about that later as to like what makes a good or bad opponent. If you join us for the first time and it's not live, check out the description below and you can jump to whichever part of the video you want. We like to take our time. We've got timestamps, but on this podcast we like to take our time. We like to get into the details of the subject. This is not a clickbaity, instantly in your face thing. This is more of an exploration.
Mate, we're like a fine wine.
We're a fine wine.
I mean, I definitely haven't got better with age, to be fair. I've just got less hair on top of my head and more on my face.
You've lost hair, but you've grown inside. You've lost a lot on the outside.
Grown in size?
No, not like, no, inside, not in size.
This is awful.
I
don't come on here to get...
No, I said you've grown inside.
Oh, yeah. I just hear the truck beeping back out. Beep, beep.
Sorry,
beep.
I didn't mean it like that. I take it back. No
offense. Go home and cry now.
Welcome to... Cry on air, mate. It might be good content. If you are joining us live...
It's good content.
Yeah, go on, do it. It might go viral. If you join us live, welcome to the chat. We will be Andy, how mad was Ellen Road on Friday? Oh my dad was there in the south stand on the season
Leeds.
He took some hits, I'm not gonna lie. He called me after and he was like, I've got hit a few times, chair in front of me is broken. People came flying past me. I was like,
what was going on?
Oh, we just scored very last minute goals and it completely kicked off.
So you were winning and so you kicked off?
No, we're losing 1-0 in a really big game and then scored like 3 goals in like 15 minutes and it just erupted. But anyway, people don't talk about football, but Andy does, and Andy's a good lad. Welcome, Andy, in the chat. Hope everyone is doing okay today and keeping well. Thanks, as always, to our members who have joined and support the channel through YouTube. We will be doing an After Dark at 9 o'clock after this show while I just drop my very expensive glasses. We'll be doing After Dark where me and Liam are going to talk about some edible adventures and do an Ask Us Anything, so you can ask us.
We're going to do an Ask Us Anything, Warhammer,
Rando.
Or... Yeah, can be anything, and you'll just get hot takes from us.
We'll just be firing out hot takes with our trusted members who we trust will not share some of the things we say with the broader community, because some of the things that come out in those
could be pretty dicey.
Are somewhat lively.
Yeah, yeah.
How's your neck?
I mean... Yeah, I've recovered. I'm a man with a strong neck. We discussed this the other week, didn't we?
We did discuss it,
Where
yeah.
I don't actually have a neck, I'm just head and shoulders.
Yeah, I described you as a Lego.
Wow, I'm really taking some hits this evening, aren't I? Jesus.
Well, I look stupid. I've had my hair cut too short. So,
but the best bit is you've still maintained the curl at the front.
Yeah,
that generates all the perm.
I was getting so much abuse about my perm, I went and got it cut. Do you know what I mean? The Discord's just been bullying me. On that note, join the Discord, anybody, if they're not on the Discord.
I like the fact that the Turkish man's probably been on the Discord, seen your hair, and like, he's still got to have the perm at the front, though.
There was such an awkward interaction where he was doing my moustache, okay, and like he was coming in and doing the moustache, and he said to me, "How do you want the moustache? Normal?" And I just said, "Yeah, just a normal moustache is fine." Right? So I thought that's the interaction. So when someone's doing your moustache, you go like that. Right? So and he kept going, normal. I went, yeah, normal. And he was like, normal.
Yeah,
and I went, yeah.
Just let your mouth relax.
I thought he was saying, do I want a normal moustache? So I just kept going, yeah, normal. And then doing that.
Did he give you a rub, though?
Excuse me?
Did he give you a rub? Have you not been to the Turkish barber where they give you a rub down?
Where?
What do you mean, where? On your shoulders?
What kind of rub down do you
Just
get?
give you a little rub on the shoulders as you're having...
What, as you come in?
Yeah, so like, when I used to have like, when I had my beard like properly done, they do like a hot towel on your face, so I've got to speak into the microphone. They do a hot towel and you'd lay back.
They just give you a little rub down.
Look, this is why I get bad neck. Because
you haven't got a neck.
I'm trying to lay back.
We've already been through this.
I'm trying to lay back and I can't lay back because I haven't got a neck. And then they give you a little shoulder rub while you're relaxing.
They don't touch my shoulders, no, they stick to my head.
Oh.
Head. It's an adult show.
It's got dicey,
It's an adult
hasn't
show.
it? Yeah, but have you never had a rub down from a Turkish man?
I've never had a rub down, not in a barber's, no.
I'll have to take you to a different sort of barbers, won't I?
I've had, sometimes I've done some like head stuff and you think, I won't get that at a sort of traditional barbers.
Yeah.
No,
I've had the one
they do some touching that you think that,
my mate Ash
like
starts at fingertips.
that sort of thing,
Oh, God, I'm like the Churchill dog, aren't I? I can't even remember what he says anymore. The Churchill dog, he's like, oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Just put me on a skateboard and roll me in, boys.
Welcome to the chat. Some familiar faces, which we love to see. Dan Cunningham, welcome, buddy. Me and Dan used to play a game. I don't know if I mentioned it. It's called War Machine.
Oh, here we go again.
People get very upset when we say War Machine.
Yeah, look, my old Turkish barber used to karate chop my shoulders. I think it was a massage. I was too embarrassed to ask.
Maybe they're just having a bad day and they just think...
Maybe we're all just really good-looking men.
Wait.
We're just normal men.
Yeah. Slap him some more.
Peter!
Jesus, I bet that's really loud for everyone that's watching this. Peter is alive. Yes.
Peter, that's 2 weeks we've not heard from you, and we genuinely thought you might have been in a situation over there in the Ukraine. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Welcome to the chat. Welcome, Ali. How's your week in Warhammer been? Oh man, you've had a good.
Mate, this is going to take me a little bit because I went to
limber up then.
Went to the Teams event run by Incursion Events, which is Luke. Massive shout out to Luke. It was a great event. Big shout out to Rob and Mr. LeBeau, who's in the chat, and Steve, who won. Went 3-0. Great result. Two of the Mind Goblins boys, Louis and Craig, came second, who me and Tom lost to in our grudge match that we would have, if we'd won, we would have come second.
Bloody goblins.
So yeah, really nice guys though, and a really last game of the day, quite an actual sort of high level. I'm sort of standing there while the three of them are doing stuff and me being like, so can I move my custodies? They're all like, no. I'm like, but I would like to move my custodies.
Sorry, that was quite hard. Let me tweet you that.
Tom's like, stop, get away from the table. And then big shout out to Matt and Belzy from Emperor's Nutsack, who came in third.
Hang on. Matt and
Belzy. Well,
Belzy?
Yeah, it's Shredders and
Is
Belzy.
he mates with Bareback?
No, Shredders and Belzy.
Bareback, Belzy and Shredders. What are you? Ninja Turtle enemies?
Yeah, basically.
Baddies from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Say them names again.
Shredders.
Yeah.
Shredders.
Yeah.
Sorry. Belzy.
Yeah.
And Bareback Jack.
Literally could be names enemies of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
They're the ones that got morphed into something
yeah.
else. So Emperor's Nutsack came in third, which was a good result for us. And me and Tom came
job.
in fourth. Bit disappointed, but
Tom.
Massive shout out to Mr. Green as well. He was an absolute gentleman all day.
There he is right there.
Absolute gentleman. And I think my personal hero of the day is in the chat, Mr. Brandon.
Brandon was the hero of the day.
By game 3, was absolutely off his box, mate. Was wavy to the point that one eye was
Brandon.
I mean, he only weighs about 4 stone wet anyway.
Brandon.
And he was knocking beers over. He was at one point, during game 3, he was just chatting to me. I was like, aren't you supposed to be playing? He was like, oh yeah, he's rolling my dice for me. I was like, yeah, but... Brandon.
It's not an excuse to watch a friend play 40k while you get smashed, mate. What the hell?
He literally got absolutely...
I'm worried.
Battered, mate. It was hilarious. He was wavy, mate. It was so good. And I think this is what I quite enjoyed about the fact that
Brandon's eyes were offside by game 3.
Mate, it was honestly... But this is what was so great about it, was everyone was just playing it in a really good spirit, if you know what I mean.
Never seen anyone as drunk as Brandon game 3.
Honestly, mate, he was hilarious. It was so good.
Oh, I love a doubles event. I'm gutted I couldn't make it.
Doubles event was class. We've got a teams event coming up in March.
Well, I've got all the dates on the Discord. Everybody, join the Discord.
23rd,
Join the Discord.
For another teams event with Mr. Luke Vincent. So that'll be really good. But yeah, mate, just a great day out.
Wicked.
Great games.
I'm gutted I missed it.
Great games. Great interactions with everyone. There wasn't any trouble. There wasn't any arguing. There was none of that sort of rubbish going on because it was pretty chilled because it was a teams event.
Wicked. Sounds fun.
How was your week in Warhammer?
Not as fun as that, my friend.
You didn't see Brandon get battered and make...
No, I would have liked to have seen that and experienced it. Last week for me was mainly podcasty stuff, so We did the podcast last Monday.
Yep.
And then I spent a lot of my gaming time getting the stuff ready for Thursday for the stream, where we had Luke and Callum on the show, the round one of the Epic Flail Invitational, which you've organised, doing a sterling job with.
And I will, some of the boys have already asked me in the chat about dates and stuff. I'll put all the dates in again.
Oh, yeah, that was me.
I've got them all in. I've got them all on my computer at home, but you know me. Trying to work a computer is pretty difficult for me.
He does struggle, yeah.
I just struggle with but can we tell the other story of this evening though? That I've had to come around and fix your plumbing.
Oh yeah, it started off like a porno.
With me underneath the sink.
Me and Georgia in the kitchen, and Georgia being like, "He just can't sort the plumbing." And you're like, "Step aside, love." Oh, I've got it. I've got
shirt
it.
Came off and everything. I had a little
Ass
stretch
sticking out,
didn't I?
just like in underneath the sink. Yeah.
I expect it's probably going to leak. It's proper budget, mate. Budget and scarf.
Yeah. Basically, what happened is I sort of like I just couldn't be. I just rammed like something. Yeah, and it just fucking. Oh no, I swore. I'm worried,
mate. You
Sorry,
are worse at this than me.
That's 2 streams in a week where I've dropped an F-bomb early on.
But we'll be more than 5 minutes in. It's fine.
We're 11 minutes in, so I think it's fine. The algorithm's not going to get too upset. Peter, we're so glad you're okay, my friend. Peter, I made a joke the other week about Peter just never following any instruction. Like, he's his own man. Peter will have make his own points. You know, he'll say what he wants when he wants to say it.
Yeah, he's governed by no one. He's a rebel without a cause.
Yeah,
Peter.
you know, you don't tell Peter what to do. However, Peter, join the Discord because people like ask about your welfare.
Do you know the only person that's ever told Peter what to do is? Do you know who it is?
Zelensky.
Chuck Norris. There's a
and
Chuck
even
Norris.
then he thought about it.
Yeah.
Even then Peter was like,
No, Chuck, I will.
I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you on email, he said.
Yeah. I might write you a strongly worded email back, Chuck Norris.
So yeah, it was a good week in Warhammer. I encourage people to go and check the stream out if they've not seen the stream. We've had some good feedback from it. I definitely feel like it's an improvement from our previous streaming, which is good.
If you join the Discord, then you're a Vanguard Tactics brown nose.
Shots fired.
The Vanguard was...
We did have a competition for a box of X-Action... People call them Extraction Squad, but it's X-Action Squad. So there's not many that I think are worth...
giving stuff away.
Highlighting.
But just to highlight the fact I haven't been on Discord this week. So
he never goes on the Discord.
Mate, I don't know how to work it. Adam had to come around and give me a lesson.
Does anyone actually believe him? There is one that was really funny that I want to show you. So,
mate, so this is my hobby. This is my little bit of hobby that I've been doing, right? Because I think that the Valorous model for the Custodians is pretty rubbish. So I've made my own Trajan Valorous model,
right?
Which is this, and I've painted that myself, just so everyone's aware. I haven't paid. This is me actually trying to hobby properly.
Yeah. But if you zoom in on its face, have you seen its face?
And I didn't even paint it thinking that way at all.
Look how detailed his fine brush.
Look how detailed. Look how good I've got the beard.
Look how good Liam's got with the fine brush painting.
Oh my god.
Cosby Valorous, whatever he's called.
Cosby Valorous. Oh my days.
What would his special rule be?
Don't take a drink from him.
Brandon says that's Boxy's model.
Yeah, he keeps going to me. Do you know Boxy made that model first? I was like, yes. I don't know that he made it first. I just made it.
Yeah, but has he given him that face?
Yeah. What colour's Boxy's?
And is he as skilled with a brush?
Oh my god.
Oh, Terranord, good comment from Terranord. No more nonsense talk about VR last week. So Terranord is funded by some anti-VR groups.
Oh mate, VR's a psyop to Terranord, isn't it?
VR, we won't be talking about VR again. I thought it was a good subject, but
how did I paint the yellow? Old Gentle Michael's just hit me with how do you paint the yellow? Well, actually, mate, Valrak dropped me a message.
Let's not bring up the yellow.
I'm never leaving that. I'm never.
Do not bring up the
again.
yellow with Liam for the love of the Lord himself. So the X-Action Squad. I'm sort of half hesitant to give it away because there wasn't a lot of competition. So maybe I'm not going to give away the X-Action Squad. I'm going to give away what else is on our giveaway shelf. A tub of ground texture and water texture, which Brandon will back up that it's like good stuff. So that can go to your nutsack, man.
Belsey.
Why do you have all these stupid... What do you mean?
Because his name's David Bells. You called him Belsey, didn't you? Because we're just geezers. We're just
Bellsy,
cool.
we got Bellsy, we got Bareback.
Bellsy's in the ass.
Oh yeah, we got Shredder.
These teenage heroes in a half shell. Nutsack team. Right.
Mate,
I've got my
sixth ranked team in the country, mate. Just saying.
Well, there's about 50 of you, that's why.
We just bring up gaggle to a tournament.
Basically, everybody but me that plays Warhammer 40,000 is
Yeah,
in the
mate, you
Nutsack.
haven't quite met the threshold yet. You haven't got a really, like, off-kilter nickname. That's the problem.
What's wrong with Northie?
Well, no, it needs to be something like fucking Pooey Fingers Northie, doesn't it? Or something like that.
It needs to be something that I'm just beyond those sort of nicknames. You know what I mean?
I'll rise above it, do you?
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
I've risen well and far above that sort of thing.
But to be fair, I was at the tournament on Saturday and I had quite a few people come up to me and just be like, really enjoying the podcast. It's
Yeah, well,
great.
they don't tell me.
Yeah,
Oh, very good, Tom Green. Yeah, that won't be the nickname, and I'm not reading it out.
Yes, mate. You'd get in the nutsack with that nickname. You would get in the nutsack with that nickname.
I'm not reading that out, and that is not going to be the nickname. For the love of the Lord himself.
Oh, Jesus.
Right, get ready.
Are we putting these on already?
Well, unless there's anything else you want to bring up before we get into the main agenda of this evening.
No, I think that any tournaments that we go to in future, I think we should contribute to Brandon's drinking from our YouTube earnings just to watch him get wavy because it was so funny. And mate, he takes about 2 pints, so it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see what we can do. Next tournament, we'll try and load Brandon up on the Discord. Machine. This was not an invitation for people to give me awful nicknames.
Same member, by the way. That might be Belsy.
This is not an invitation.
Yes, you did give my sisters back. It's fine.
I beg your pardon.
He borrowed some models off me.
Oh,
And
well
he
done,
doesn't
well
even
done,
remember
Brandon.
giving them back.
Well done, Brandon.
At one point, he came up halfway through the game and was like, are you leaving? Do you need your models back? I was like, well, are you still using them? And he was like, yeah. I was like, well, then, mate, you can't just go and take your models off the table because I might need them back. He's like, no, that's cool. I was like, no, mate, it's fine. I'm not going anywhere.
I've just got this vision of like, who was Brandon playing with? Brandon just like playing
one
these
of his
games
mates.
and him just out socialising,
Yeah,
you know,
he
him
was
like
just
popping
like,
up to tables,
just working
How
the
we doing,
room.
boys? Yeah. He's like a hosting. What are you doing here, Brandon?
He's the greeter. He's the shot man outside the nightclub in like Tenerife. Like, come in. Boys, we've got 2-for-1 shots in here tonight, and we come in. It's a Warhammer tournament.
40k going on down there. You want to have a look at that? You like a bit of this? His opponent's there like, oh, this is so stressful. Like, I don't know what Brandon wants me to do. Like, don't worry about him. He's out socialising.
Don't worry, he's pulled 4 randoms in from outside.
He's like a lucky man. He's just going around like, very good, very nice.
in the toilet.
Very good, very
In the
nice.
toilet. No spray, no leg. Brandon's boys aftershave.
He's over links. He's trying to freshen everyone up. Brandon, back to your table. Right. Sorry, Peter. I told you first podcast that Alcon makes 40k events, especially invitationals. You are correct, my friend. You've still not joined the Discord.
Drank hammer is the best hammer.
Telly also said, anybody ever seen Peter and Chuck Norris in the same room together? Good point.
Oh, maybe he is.
Made. Good point, well made.
Mate, could be his dad. Could be Peter's dad. Chuck Norris could be Peter's dad.
Peter, confirm or deny?
Peter Norris.
Peter Norris, that's a strong name, isn't it?
Mate, that strikes
Peter
fear
Norris.
into people, yeah. Imagine him in roundhouse kicking you with that name.
Oh, you won't get roundhouse kicked by Peter Norris.
Mate, I don't even think my neck could take that.
Big Peter Norris.
Oh, your
There
delivery's
we
on
go.
the way.
Yeah, it's not for me. Just got told off for drinking the last Coke Zero, so we have to get some more of them ordered in. The subject today was inspired by someone on the Discord. We have a private chat for members of a certain tier where people can give us ideas and influence what we talk about on the show. So I was chatting to people in there this week. Liam would be on there if you knew how to operate a computer. So,
Well, the fact I have to pay for the membership seems a bit off, but, you know, whatever.
well, you were gifted it, and I said
No, I
I'd give
wasn't.
you £3 a month. Oh yeah, no, well, I owe you £3 every month that goes by. No, well, I'll just charge you for the Coca-Cola. So
Just charge me for the Coke Zero.
But then you'll bill me for the plumbing, so like it'll just be this never-ending.
Mate, do you know how much a plumber is an hour? Like silly money, mate. And a min
Really?
visit. Yeah, min
All
visit,
they do is
mate.
tighten stuff up.
Yeah, no, min visit though, isn't it?
Min visit.
Min
you with all the
visit,
plumber
mate.
terms. Min visit, mate. That's
Yeah,
at least
so-
60.
Yeah, mate. And, you know, materials as well.
Min visit.
Materials, parking, all adds up, mate, plus the VAT.
Well, I'm glad you did it for free then.
Take it cash in hand, wouldn't I? Call it 75 cash.
Well, I've given you a lot of Coke Zeros.
Yeah.
Someone in the private members chat gave us a really good idea for a discussion. They'd recently played a game. I'm not going to name them or where it was or give any details away. But they'd recently played a game where an opponent was basically not sharing information about their models. So they're kind of like, what's that do? And they're like, oh, come on, like, it's...
Oh, you're dead.
Yeah, like, that doesn't make a good opponent. It was like really uncomfortable experience for them. So we thought, well, that's a good discussion around what does make a good opponent.
Yeah.
And a great starting point for that is to just go through some stereotypes of what makes a bad opponent and try and be, set the scene almost and cause some low-level offence.
Some shin-level offence.
To do some shinners, which is what we're all about.
Cheeky shinners.
We'll start off with a Corden, right? So the James Corden...
I hate his face so much.
He's literally the worst person in the world, isn't he?
But he used to be really cool. Like when he was doing Gavin and Stacey,
yeah.
he was like a top bloke.
Yeah.
And now I would like to headbutt him.
Now he wants to be everybody's friend. That's why he's one of the stereotypes.
Well, yeah, but
The
he's
charmer.
not my friend.
No one wants to be his friend.
Because he's a bit slimy, isn't he?
But he will try so hard. So one stereotype of a bad opponent, what you don't want to be, is the charmer.
Yeah.
Who goes all out to just ask you all the questions. Hey, mate, how's it going? You all right? Oh, just so over the top. And it's super obvious that they actually don't
give
don't care.
Absolute what's it, do they?
So don't be a charmer.
Yeah, like it just comes across as insincere, doesn't it?
You can be a bit of a charmer.
Yeah, I'm brutal at it as well.
You'll charm and then dharma. You'll do a charm dam.
Charm dam.
A James Dharma.
Sorry. Yeah, just pick those up.
Yeah, in all seriousness, there is definitely something to be said about getting to a table and being friendly and chatty and approachable, and you don't want to be a crank, but it can definitely... you don't want to get there and just Undertaker him.
Don't want to be a crank.
No.
I swear I was talking to someone once and they basically turned up to a table and their opponent just refused to talk to them basically. And they were
they just didn't fancy it?
Yeah, they were like, oh, roll for attacker defender. They were like, all right, just roll the dice. And we're like, you. It's like, okay, cool. It's like, so what have you got in your army? Read my list. Like that sort of behaviour. And you're just like, really? Are we at that level again? Are people that
so
socially awkward sometimes? Or is it
It's
just...
so awkward when that happens because you then think, oh man, I've got 3 hours of this now.
Yeah, I've got to put up with this for 3 hours.
The first 10 minutes are so important just to try and set a nice piece of engagement and not let your opponent know that the next 3 hours of their life are going to be awful. And if you get a Corden and they're giving you a bit too much, I just think, oh no. I don't know if I can
deal with this.
I don't know if I can. So don't be a Corden. They're not the worst type though, but don't be a Corden. Don't be a Papa.
So this is my mate from LGT, innit?
Yeah, tell your LGT story because I love it.
I don't know. Some
people have heard it, so
people
give some top lines.
So basically, I was at LGT, game 2. My opponent was nowhere to be found. 10 minutes went by, still nowhere to be found. I've started walking over to get a judge. I've seen a very sickly-looking man walking towards me. I said, oh, are you playing Blood Angels, mate? He went, yeah.
A little nurgly.
And he just went to me, oh, have you not heard? Has no one come and told you? I was like, no. I was like, what? He's like, I've got an open wound on my back. And I was looking for a plaster. I was like, mate, if you want to just call this, we're just whatever, we'll just have a fun game and just say that I've won 100 to 70 or something like that. He's like, no, it's cool, we'll play. He just spent the whole time trying to nurse this open wound on his back. Sweating, he'd gone white. So he was obviously in quite a lot of pain.
Yeah, he's
and there was something leaking out of his back.
Don't be a Papa Nurgle. That's not how you present it. You don't want your opening conversation to be, I'm basically leaking fluid.
I've got a weepy wound.
Yeah.
I don't need to know about your weepy wound, mate. I just want to roll some dice.
I just want to roll some dice.
But then what if he touches your stuff and he's got weepy wound? Don't touch my stuff. I don't want weepy wound on me. Imagine weepy wound juice on you.
The last thing you want at a 1/40,000 tournament is a bit of a weepy wound.
Another man's juice on you. That's the last thing you want.
You only expect that sort of thing from a Turkish barber.
Yeah, mate. After he's given you a rub down.
Yeah, you do not expect that. Ali says, a seeping gash. You do not want a seeping gash at the table.
Jeez. But this also drifts into, I think, trying to be polite about it.
No, say it. Yeah, I think we're going to want to make the same point.
People that absolutely stink.
God, I wasn't going to say that. That's God, so awful. I can't believe you just said that.
Mate, I literally, the boys were laughing at me at Bournemouth because I was wandering around with a roll-on deodorant. Like every 5
See,
minutes, just
I
like
respect that so much.
just
That is
because I was like, I just don't want to be that person that smells.
No, that is a very honourable.
And the boys were like, Liam, you're the furthest away from you put aftershave on to come to a Warhammer tournament. I was like, yeah, but I don't want to be that person.
You're out to impress. Do you know what I mean? You want to build some relationships.
Yeah,
build some
because
bridges.
it's like it's
You don't
building
wanna
them
pepper
up. Yeah, it's building them up to then for me to go full Dharma, innit?
For you, there's a bit more on the surface. That is a really kind thing you do, and I will commend you for it.
Because I smell nice tonight. I've got something on tonight, haven't I?
You're making me worried now. Where's my? I've got some. We'll deodorise throughout this just to demonstrate our commitment to
not smelling,
to staying fresh. But Liam does it to lure people in. So like 50. No,
I'm
gonna
basically
be
a honeypot.
You're one of the big War Machine honeypots, right? And
War Machine, one game.
Sorry, yeah. That's why everybody hates it. In this video, I'm going to give you the top 10 tips for the War Machine. No, seriously, you do.
to All Specs Tactics. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to take the mic.
Welcome to All Specs Tactics, the strategy focused 40-day channel.
Bang, and I'm asleep. I have never listened to the strategy, mate.
Don't listen to All Specs.
How I play.
Listen to Incursion Tactics with our boy Luke Vincent.
Much better.
You are 60%. I don't want to smell at the table because I'm a good human. 40%. I'm going to lure you in with a nice little smell, a nice little whiff, a nice little cordon chat.
Little sweet chat.
And then you think, oh, God, this guy's really chill. He's really nice. And next thing you know, boom!
Yeah, I've done you.
Darmo's on the table.
Oh, Cosby dice come out, don't they?
It is important as well. And I think it's fine to just say, like, try not to smell at the table. It does make a good opponent.
I know some
really
people
try.
have issues around it, but it's not
What
hard.
do you mean issues? Put like hygiene issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can be forgiving. You know, we're kind people. Like, not everyone's the same. People sweat differently and people emit different
We've all had
odours.
stinky bumhole sometime, haven't we?
You know. Yeah, you know, it's fine. it's part of life.
Just ignoring the comments.
I don't do that kind of chat, mate. I don't talk about.
I've got a thing for After Dark off that.
But come on, hygiene's important. The other one is the Oprah. No one wants an Oprah who's going to ask you like 50 questions all throughout the game.
Just keep firing questions at you.
Constant chat, wants to tell you everything. It's not the cordon where they try to charm you. This is sort of like, he's like Jack and Ori. Do you know what I mean?
But so the thing I find a little bit, and I do understand it because I'm probably bad for this as well, is like, say you do a round of combat and I'm like, right, this is the rule on this unit, -1 to hit on this unit. They're like, okay, cool. Next round, you're like, yeah, cool, you're -1 to hit. They're like, but why am I -1 to hit? And you're like, because the rule. That's the rule. Next round of combat, -1. Can we just go through again? Why am I -1 to hit? You're like, mate, if you're not going to listen, what's the point? Just take the fact that you're -1 to hit or you're +1 to win, whatever. Like, that gets to the point where you're like, I've explained the rules so many times now that now it's just boring, and I think you're just doing it on purpose to be dim and slow the game down or something.
That's definitely bad etiquette. I end up, because I'm aware sometimes I ask too much, I end up like either writing it down or just putting some dice down so I know what the stats are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I'm like, what's the toughness and save of that? And I think, oh, that's like twice now. I'll get the dice and put them down so I know like toughness 5, save 3 or whatever.
It's different if you're playing, especially for us when we play on stream, because there's a lot going on. There's the fact that you know that you're being filmed, you're interacting with whoever's doing the computer, you're interacting with your opponent, you're trying to focus on the game. Missing the fact that something has a 4-up save or something is reasonable in that situation. I think if you're purely just standing at a table with someone and you have to keep asking me what the save on my custodians is, you're doing my head in now.
You want to get it like just pen it on your head.
Well, the best one is when they go, so what's the save on that unit? Especially with custodians, they're like, what's the save on that unit? You're like, 2 up. Do they have an invuln? Yeah, 4 up. What about that unit? 2 up, 4 up. What about that unit? Let's just say, right, army-wide, it's a 2 up, 4 up. Yeah. Apart from the little Dorises stood at the back. Just ignore them.
Well, you're never going to see them, so don't worry about them. They're literally just stood on an objective.
They're just lurking in a room.
And they don't kill anything. They don't do anything. They're useless models.
So it's a 2 up, 4 up, guys. Oh, okay.
I can be, the questions can be frustrating, particularly if it's the same one over and over again. I'm just very aware. What sometimes happens to me is I'll ask the question, but then I'm also thinking about. I'm also thinking about 4 other things. So like, they'll give the information back, and I'll be like, I can't remember what I asked them. To be honest,
I can't remember what that Turkish barber said to me.
I can't remember what I've said. Don't be an Oprah. Oh, I've just faded back towards. Hang on, we're going to get on to. And also, don't be a Nigella. So you do get a Nigella Lawson that'll turn up with like a 3-course meal that they've prepared at the table. It happens at tournaments.
There's a reason there's a lunch break.
Yeah, eat then. Don't turn up and start littering the table with
your crummy food.
Crappy sausage
Imagine
rolls
being a Nigella Nurgle.
Oh, don't be a Nigella Nurgle.
Mate, imagine that. A Papa Nigella.
Oh, Papa. Don't.
That could have gone really wrong when I said that.
Papa Nigella. Yeah, let's tread carefully. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't turn up stinking and dropping food all over the table.
Yeah.
Because I will.
A horrendous combo. So that's not ideal. We don't want one of them. We also don't want a Blue Peter badge, one of these characters who comes up and just wants to show you everything all the time and tell you every single conversion or change they've done to the model. That can be a bit intense.
I don't need to know the full backstory of your own Space Marine chapter. I don't care. Like, honestly, I'm not being rude. I don't care.
Telly says eating a jar of pickled eggs at the table.
Ooh.
That would definitely...
jellied eels.
That would definitely... Seth says, Oprahs are okay if they have gifts. A gift to a table could swing us through anything.
Yeah, cheeky dice trade. That's always nice, isn't it?
Peter's firing some strong comments. And Peter, when you play on stream for a video on a channel, then your goal should be make the game entertaining, easy to follow. A professional, well-played game of 40k is horrible to watch. We do try, Peter, on our streams to make them entertaining by playing DMX, which is why I got a content warning for the stream on Thursday, because we started playing DMX, and then there was another theme tune that I started playing as well. Oh yeah, Big Break. Do you remember Big Break? It's only a game, so put up a real.
You're going to get a content warning again because you're singing it.
Good point, well made.
Good point, well made. Thanks for stopping me.
Several episodes ago, don't sing the songs because that's still
right. The theme tune, sing the theme tune.
Yeah, don't do it. So we're just setting the scene there. We've got one more. We're just setting the scene with some people we don't want to be, and then we're going to get into a little process we can follow to be the best people we can at the table. And whilst we're doing that chat, I'd like you to let us know of any particular hates you have at the table, so we can ensure that we're not repeating them when we play at the table.
Don't just write my name. Don't just write what you hate at the table, Liam.
Best thing to do at this exercise, this series point, is just think about everything Liam represents and try and describe them in words and put them in the chat. This is the Lady Gaga. This is someone who expects you to know who they are at the table. They come with some, they come with an air of
superiority.
I don't need, you know who I am.
Oh yeah. Oh,
you played a few of these.
Have you not noticed my placement? Have you not noticed my objective markers?
Oh yes, with their face on it.
Yeah, they say such and such because I played a couple of these Beachhead, so I'm not mentioning any names.
A couple of Gagas.
And it was like, oh, have you seen these? Oh yeah, look at my dice. Like, yeah, I was playing so and so last week, and you're just like,
what I love about this is the last tournament you played, you were giving out yellow Bill Cosby dice. The difference between like other groups.
I'm handing out Bill Cosby dice.
Other groups turn up and they've got these like nice objective markers and dice, and then Liam turns up and he's like, "You can keep this dice," and people like going, "Who's this?"
No, so I didn't give any of the Bill. To be fair, I didn't give any of the Bill Cosbys away.
Okay,
I gave a couple of nuts away. I was rolling the Cosbys, and I did have a couple of people look at me like, "Who's that on the dice?" And I was like, I said, "Oh, it's a thing. Don't worry." And they were like, one of them picked it up and was like, "Is that Bill Cosby?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, looked at me like, when you look at someone like, And I was like, "There's a whole story.
It's a thing.
I'm really sorry.
We've got
a podcast. Like, I don't mean to be offensive." And I was like, "I'm just going to put those to one side."
Hey, listen, it's a win-win. You roll a 6 if they see the face, which is good for you, but also like you might upset them.
The best thing ever is rolling a charge with a Cosby and a nut, and getting a Cosby and a nut, and doing a Cosby nut.
A Cosby nut.
Yeah.
Whoa, there.
Yeah, it's good. Feel the feeling when you get that feeling.
Let's not talk about Cosby nuts. I'm not sure if the YouTube algorithm is going to like the combination of those two words next to each other. It's going to be like
peanuts.
Yeah, I know. But the algorithm doesn't discriminate. We should stop even saying algorithm because it'll be like they're talking about me.
It's a psyop.
Seth says, "Oh, I second that, Adam. This is me, Tom. But I do try to ask now. I love a good war. What? Seth is Tom, but there's two Tom.
No. So you're looking. So we've got.
Oh,
Salt
right. I need
Lords.
to go further up. So, go on. You read the comment.
So Adam, Salt Lords are the ones that huff and puff at every roll, even if it's going well for them. Yeah, mate.
They're annoying. They were they might have been one of our original stereotypes that we did.
The ones that have no concept of personal space. The ones when you're rolling dice and they just like appear here.
What can we call them?
Old Space Invaders. Like, what the hell? Where have you come from? Why are you standing really close to me?
That was Brandon at the weekend.
No, it's because I smell so good. That's why.
Yeah. You're just luring him in with your links.
Oh, mate. I'm like Lynx Africa at a Warhammer tournament. I mean, that would be horrific. Imagine that. Getting chased by all those sweaty people down the road. I feel like I'd be all right at trying to outrun a lot of the people at Warhammer Club, to be honest with you.
I think he's okay.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm quite nippy over 10 yards. After that, I feel a bit gassed.
Tom, I can't. I don't think I can read that out. So if anybody wants to laugh, read the live chats. I will not be reading that out right now because it's funny though, Tom.
This is Tom.
It's a cheeky one. Right. What makes a good opponent? We've sort of split this into 3 different areas for us all to evaluate and think about, okay? Because now we're giving you a little presentation there on some of the stereotypes of bad opponents. There's 3 different sections we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about arrival, which I think is a very key point of assessment.
First meet.
The first meet.
It's
we're going to talk about playing.
It's more important than meeting someone in a social situation for the first time. Cause
it's very important.
You're committed to spending 3 hours with this person, aren't you?
Yeah, and the genuinely interesting. Hang on, I'll come back to this, and then we're going to talk about losing and winning. How you lose or win. The interesting point about 40k events and stuff, or even just arranging a game at a club, is normally when you spend 3 hours with someone and only that other person. You're doing so because you know them already and they're your friend.
You actually
want to spend
time with that person.
Or you're doing your bumbles, your hinges or whatever, and it's a pre-agreed. We're committing to get to know each other, and we've already established that we're not going in blind. You know what I mean? You're not on your grinders. You're not going in blind.
Well, don't speak for yourself on that one, mate.
I don't go in blind. Wait. It was just a Turkish barber, lads. It was just a Turkish barber. They didn't.
They did not rub me down.
It's just a barber, okay? No, I'm married. Everybody knows where I stand. But all I'm saying is
Tom Cruise, mate. But
don't mention him. Scientologist on us.
Oh God, we don't need those boys as well.
The last thing we need is a Scientology. We've already got half the community against us because you call them out every week. The last thing we need is Scientology.
But yeah, I don't know if they're into Warhammer. Are they? Probably don't believe in it.
It's an interesting crossover.
Mate, maybe they
Scientology
think maybe the Empire. Maybe the Emperor is.
We've really gone off subject here, but I like it.
Maybe the Emperor is. Who's the fellow that wrote the book for Scientology? I can't remember his name.
Oh, I don't know his name.
But yeah,
it's not a cult that I've not really joined yet.
It's not a cult I've joined yet. I mean, I dabble in a bit.
I don't mind cults. I was thinking the other day, what if everyone cults have got a bad name, but what if one of them was right?
Yeah, but
do you know what I mean?
But would they
I don't know, but
I mean,
in a cult and stuff. But were they all? What?
Even if you're right, like the sort of the other stuff that comes along with it's probably not great, is it? Like.
Well, not all of it. I mean, they can be expensive. Well, they don't all abuse you. I don't think.
Isn't that the whole thing with like a cult? Otherwise, it's just a club, isn't it?
No, it's like people that are like, well, I don't know, maybe. Does it have to be abuse? I don't think there has to be abuse.
There has to be some shenanigans going on, otherwise it is just
for
a club,
it to end up on a Netflix documentary. There has to be a bit of an extra
of
let's call it after school activity.
Yeah, a little bit of the Lord's work going on.
The Lord's work. Rob says if Scientology was a cult, it would be world bearers. I think he meant to say world. He said word bearers, but that's that's like a countdown. That's like a name of a countdown team.
No, word bearers is
the word bearers.
No, word bearers is a chapter. You're going. Your word bearers is a chapter.
No, it's not. The word bearers. Yeah, it sounds like a university challenge team name.
It's the ones that are really into religion.
Oh, 40k lore is so weird. Sometimes.
Is Lorgar there? Who's the Primarch?
No, come on. Right, let me make my point.
Lorgar! Okay, sorry.
Well, you are Lawmaster Liam, actually. We did remove that. We did have it as a feature.
Yeah, because that was putting a lot of added pressure on.
CSM, you lot are such little lore geeks.
Literally everyone's. It's lore.
Return to the Elbows 5. So wait, so CSM Legion. All right, sorry. I thought it was a typo.
Well.
I thought it was a typo because Rob can be known to hit that keyboard pretty hard. And
just hits his organ on it half the time, doesn't he?
In frustration at hearing what we're saying. Shut up, you idiots. Right, you've completely spun me off track. But basically, we're going to talk about when you arrive, and maybe that other thing I was trying to think about will come back to me. But when you arrive at the table, there's a very important process. Stop getting distracted by the chat, Liam, and engage.
Yeah,
with
no,
me on
I
this
know
very
it's in
important
East
subject.
Grinstead. I visited it, mate. They tried to indoctrinate me, mate. I'm unindoctrinatable. Is that a word?
I think it could be.
They tried to do the test, you know, where you put your hands on the thing, and they were just like, yeah, mate, it won't work. Oh, off you pop.
What, you actually went into a Scientology?
Yeah, they wouldn't let
sort
me
of-
join. I'm too good, mate.
You're just joking. You didn't really.
I'm immune to it, mate. I'm immune to Scientology. I'm the answer to Scientology.
You've got to have a
just
neck.
don't realise it. Yeah, you've got to have a neck and
They
wrists
said,
to
sorry,
join.
at the highest level of Scientology, we actually execute people, and you're unexecutable.
Yeah, the guillotine just
The
snaps
guillotine-
as it hits me. They can't get the thing round my neck. 'cause
We
it's
don't
not-
allow real life Lego people into Scientology. I'm sorry. I hope you don't take that personally.
See, it is Logar. Yeah, I was right. Wow.
Oh,
Jesus.
well, you are the Lawmaster Liam.
Come on then.
When you get to the table, basically, I think it's a good thing for us to go through. No, I've remembered what it was.
Okay, cool.
Grinder. Thank you. Well done, brain. Grinder. Right, have I upset you with a Lego comment?
No.
Just checking. Okay, good. I didn't know if I've gone too far there on a live. Excuse us, audience. We're on a live podcast.
Yeah, we're just going to pause it for a second.
Can everybody just take a minute?
While we sort each other out.
Okay, it's okay. We're back on. You know, it's not Grinder. Is Warhammer. You're going in for 3. Well, maybe it is a bit like Grinder. In fact, a random game of Warhammer 40,000 is a bit like Grinder. You're going in blind for 3 hours and you don't know what you're going to get. I wasn't going to say that.
That's not even a rude word, though.
No, I just wasn't going to say that.
But you might get pumped.
You said it, not me.
It might all end up amicable. Or someone could end up with a sore bumhole. What?
It's not after dark. It's not 9 o'clock, right?
Okay.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is you've got to spend 3 hours at a table with someone where you don't really know what you're in for. You don't really know what you get. So it's very important at that arrival stage to present yourself well. Do you feel that's the case, Liam?
Yeah, I think that there's nothing worse than turning up to a table and I think this is the problem, isn't it? Like, we're from quite a strong community in Hove, aren't we? Brighton and Hove, sorry.
It's a powerful community.
And the problem is that you see the Facebook groups or whatever and people all arranging games and there's already people in those groups that I'm like, for one reason or another, I don't fancy playing. Because either I know that I'm not going to get on with them, but I don't know if it's that or if it's just the fact that there's people that in the groups that I do want to spend my evening with, if you know what I mean.
It's a controversial start to the discussion, Liam. I'm not going to lie, but I like it.
No, but it is, isn't it? It's like, so if you're going to play down the club and you've got 2 offers and you've got an offer from someone that you know and you've played with 3 or 4 times before and you know you're going to have a good game with them, or you've got an offer from someone you haven't played with before and it's only a casual game, who are you going to play with?
I'm going to try and be completely honest. I'd like to think I'd mix it up.
But would you?
I'd like to think I'd mix it up. Honestly, I know that's hard to believe, but I'd like to think I'd try and mix it up. However,
my neck! Did you hear that?
I did hear that.
That was
actually.
my
Are you
neck
okay?
clicking.
Good Lord!
That's how solid I am. I
That
think
was
I've
quite-
just broke my neck and it doesn't matter to me.
I don't-
I'm just, again, immune to neck breaking. I'm just really like...
You're trying to distract away from this point that you've got in strong on a rather than how do you present yourself at the table. You've taken us to the other people you don't want to play at the club,
No,
and you've named our club.
I think no,
So
but
you've
I think there's that at every club, isn't there? There's, you have a group of 20, 30 people, and within that, you're always going to get little groups that spring up that like
Oh no, for sure, yeah,
playing
yeah,
each other,
yeah.
and there
For
are
sure.
people that you end up going, well, like not. There's certain people that you go, well, there's not really much more point me playing him because I'm going to lose. So what's the point of me playing him?
Yeah,
if I want a fun game,
I get what you're saying. I think there's a lot of logic in what you're saying. Time is limited. You're spending 3 hours with someone, so it's very important that you know what you get yourself in for.
Yeah.
And in the limited time that we have to play, you want to make sure you align. The question and I tell you what, Teddy Rhubarb is an absolutely superb name. Me and Telly Novelli, obviously not his real name, we play a lot of games together. Telly Novelli and Paulie Biscotti are some of our gaming names. We're always on the lookout for excellent names, and Teddy Rhubarb is pure class. It's a superb name, and I hope to God it's a real name because that is absolutely mint. That is a 10 out of 10 name. What I'm interested in, Liam, is, and run me through your...
Let's talk Villa. We're not talking Villa.
No, Martin. You need to catch up, right? Martin's seen the first comments of me and Andy talking about Leeds United. We will not be talking about any more football in the show.
Come, hit me.
I want to run us through a process now.
Yeah.
We're there. Me and you don't know each other. I've gone in the group and I've said I'd like to game. All the people that you preferentially play in your little nutsack crew, because about 50 million of you now, and you're taking over the club, they're all unavailable.
Here we are. What? What, we spread?
No. You are spreading. So you've got to play me.
Yeah.
And you don't know me.
Yeah.
How are you presenting at the table? What? Tell me how you're approaching that table. What am I getting from you? How are you turning up? What's your approach? What's your style? What's your personality? What are your questions?
Jesus Christ, this is like a weird job interview, isn't it?
It is a bit like a job interview.
And
I want to go through it. Well, you can ask me if you want, Liam. How are you presenting?
All right then, Paul. How are you presenting yourself when you come up to that table?
I'll arrive at the table with a Leeds game on my phone.
Yeah. One of the worst bits of table etiquette I have ever seen in my life. That was honestly horrific. If I was playing you that night, I would have walked off.
Would you actually?
I would have got so annoyed at you.
You're so harsh.
Mate, you sat there watching your phone. You weren't even watching the dice you were
It was
rolling.
a big game. It was a really important
Then
game.
don't play 40k that night.
I forgot they were playing.
How can you love them that much that you can't miss a game that you forgot they were playing?
I know they play Tuesday nights. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want to set the club off.
Mate, it was fucking hilarious.
Sorry.
Well, we're one each now. So 1-1 draw so far.
This is a real football theme to our discussion. Go on, no, you can ask me if you want. What I'm trying to get, and I want the audience at home to be thinking about this as well.
But you're just friendly.
How do you
aren't
present?
Just come up and be friendly and introduce yourself. Help get the table set up.
That's very important.
There's nothing worse than turning up and you're like, say your opponent's like, oh, I'm going to be there at 5:30. And you're like, sweet, well, I can't get there till 6.
This is me.
And you turn up and they've done a grand total of diddly squat.
Yeah, that's me. Or I say I'll be there at 6.
Not got the board up, not got the board down, not got any terrain, have just stood there like, and you're like, I know it's a social thing, but at least go and get a board and a table.
If you're there first, get the board.
Yeah.
And if you
honestly,
tidy up, if that's the other way around, do you know what I mean? I've lost for words.
If
you know
honestly,
what I mean?
if anyone as well, just throwing this out there, needs a hand lifting one of those boards up, just ask. Don't just struggle. Don't struggle.
Have you heard him?
Watching people struggle to lift that board.
We're on about gladiators. We were talking about gladiators downstairs. I think you got a bit mixed up. I think you were a gladiator.
Mate, I could be one of those gladiators. I'd be Average Joe.
What would you be called?
Average Joe. Just me, just stood there with a little blue bag of tinnies. Just, when they all walk out and they've all got their little thing, like Nitro does his little dance, doesn't he? And like one of them walks out and like lifts his hood up. I just walk out with a little tin of blueies and crack a Stella. Just like down a Stella. No, I do the Stone Cold.
You'd be a Lego. You'd walk out with like a little Lego hat and say that everything is awesome. And it just come out.
Oh my God. We've literally gone so off topic.
No, it's good. We're skirting around the topic like ice skaters. I tell you what I think is a good... This is... If you were asking me that excellent question that I asked you, superb
How was your week in Warhammer?
No, that was a while ago.
Oh, shit. have I missed an hour of the stream? Sorry.
Yeah,
every time you say ask me a question, that's the only question I know how to ask.
And I've got you asking it on the soundboard, but I don't know which one it actually is.
Yeah, so be careful, because you're careful with the word I say Be very careful with the word I say next. Be very careful with the word I say next. Prematurely blown their load.
It's a classic Liam quote.
Being very careful with the word I say next. Prematurely blown their load.
Brilliant. That was Liam there being careful with his words. Basically, Howling, I'm getting it. Listen, we're talking about your behaviour at the table. Do you know what I do? Ask me what I do. What do you do?
What do you do when you get to the table, Paul?
I do an evaluation of what we're dealing with.
What I'm playing against.
If you come up against me, a tournament or the club, I'm doing an immediate evaluation on what we're dealing with. I'm breaking you down physically, psychologically.
What are you saying if I walk in with my little bag under my arm, smelling good, looking good, feeling confident?
A gladiator.
Yeah, an absolute hero amongst men. Can you...
Oh, that was the wrong one. I meant to do the I'm worried.
I'm worried.
An absolute hero amongst men, aren't I? That's the thing. Walk in, just giving it the old swag, little bit of swag as you walk in.
Liam circulates the King and Queen Club like a celebrity.
Oh, no, don't say that. That's not fair.
I'm joking.
Like a celebrity.
I'm joking.
Am I a Gaga? Have I become Gaga at the club?
Listen.
Oh, no.
We could do a live poll for anyone that goes to the club to. No, I'm joking. Listen. No, let me try and make a statement here. We are on subject because I think this. If you want to be a good opponent, I think what we have to accept is
a different country.
Jimmy, we're on topic. I'll have none of this from the chat, right? You have to do a quick assessment, I think, to let's see what we're dealing with. This is a serious point in amongst all this madness, right?
I'm going to let you make a serious point.
Please let me make a serious point, okay? Here we go. That is right, Adam. He walks around throwing high fives. He walks to the table, okay? He's literally Gaga. Lady Gaga. Right, stop getting distracted by them now, like me. Listen to me. This is my serious point, okay? This is. I think it's a serious point for everybody. Everybody get ready to hear this serious point.
To listen to a serious point.
It's so bright when you do that.
Mate, honestly. It's like when you go for a wee in the night and you turn the light on by mistake and you get done, didn't you? And
that's never do that, yeah. Well, we do that anyway, but...
Go on.
I think it... I can't take you seriously with your glasses off.
Talk to me.
I feel like you're looking into my soul.
Seduce me. Spin me a yarn.
I'm worried.
140,000 is full of diverse people with diverse needs at the table. You will, in your... No, listen, bear with me, okay? And we will not be stripping down to our pants. Thank you, chat. Which is just sort of
what is going on tonight?
Listen. Warhammer 40,000, there is a diverse range. Stop getting distracted by the chat and look at me.
I'm sorry.
Okay, there's all sorts going on in there. Don't go there. I just keep looking. It's basically, that's like a TikTok that's like an algorithm. We've got to zone in on each other a minute.
Okay.
Warhammer 40,000 is a game where you'll come across many people with diverse set of needs. You'll have some people who clearly, when you get there, want to be chatty.
Yeah.
They want to cordon you. And you have to you have to prepare your defence against the cordon, engage appropriately and see what you're dealing with.
So watch the Leeds game.
So, yeah. If they're too much, put the Leeds game on and forget you're playing Warhammer 40,000. It's a great way to... No, stop. You're taking us back to the Leeds game thing. I think there is a serious point in this. Everybody has different energy levels and plays the game differently and has slightly different styles. I think there's a skill in trying to find where that is and create a level of engagement that both of you can enjoy. Yeah. So some people, if they're like, what do you mean I'm coming across as a word bear? So if some people have got a lot of energy and want a bit of chat, maybe you have to just up your game a bit to match it and get a better experience. Other people, they might just be like pretty quiet, do their own thing, that's fine. Yeah. Maybe you have to lower yours a bit. But I've found that if you can have a bit of flex in how you appear at the table, then you get the most out of your games.
Put
the glasses back on, because I do think there's a serious point in there somewhere.
You know, so I think...
Put your glasses back on.
I think you're right, that you've obviously got to try and... It's like anything, isn't it? You've got to try and match the energy that you're given. I find, and I don't know, people can comment, people in the chat have played me. I feel that I'm always just me. Like, I don't feel that I go like, oh, he's being a bit quiet, I'm going to be a bit quieter. That's not... So I'm always as I am at a table.
Mr. Consistent.
Yeah, consistently pretty poor. I was going to say another word then, but I better not.
Don't you making it a triple strike, sunshine?
And I think that, like, if you've got a certain type of personality, you can be quite infectious at a
borderline.
Table. Yeah. Disorder.
You've got a borderline. Yeah. If you've got a clinically diagnosed...
Medically, I've got quite a lot of disorders.
If you've got a couple.
but at the table, I think if you're just you, I think people will sort of, the people that you want to attract, the matching energy will find each other, if you know what I mean.
A natural process will occur.
Yeah, it's almost like natural selection, isn't it? But not with people dying.
It's like natural selection without any of the science.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. And if you can maintain that consistency, that's fine. But I think I'll try, particularly when I was playing a lot of tournaments in a previous game that I can't mention, I'd try and find a way of matching my energy, because sometimes I can be a bit over the top or a bit the other way, and if I really lock in on a game and really want to win, I'll go quite quiet, and I don't want loads of chat. Like tournaments, I didn't want like loads of chat and stuff.
It's different though, isn't it? Because playing at the club, so there's a difference between playing at your mate's house for a laugh, to playing at the club, to playing at a tournament,
exactly.
Playing at a high-level tournament,
exactly. That's why you've got to be flexible, I think.
That's why you've got to... So the difference is, like, if I play at the club, I'll be me. If I'm playing at like a local, like the teams event, me and Tom, messing about, not to the point of being silly. Like we played his mates in Mind Goblins, and before the game we were trying to rattle them like me and Tom would, just chatting to
playing
them.
the mind games.
Yeah, and then round 1 started, and I said to Tom like that. We'll leave that now. We'll actually play the game now. Because it's different than when you get into the game, because you are playing competitively.
Yeah.
And then I guess, I don't know, I'm not someone that does this, but I guess when you're playing at like really high level tournaments and championships, those high level tables are just the next step up. There's you're not turning up to those tables and being like, right, let's be mates at the end of this. I want to walk away with a friend at the end of this. You're like, I want to walk away with the fact that I won this game.
I'd find that in a game that I'm not allowed to mention, that the first couple of rounds would be a bit more chill and chatty, and but then once you get into like higher level, like semi-finals and finals, that there was just like an expectation that you wouldn't try and distract, or I don't know. But then sometimes you'd end up playing your mates and like it would just be, I don't know, a bit more relaxed. But it's still your etiquette at the table. You'd be consciously try to like not cross any boundaries or step over any lines or do anything weird, or you wouldn't try and pepper them. Adam says, this is an interesting comment. I expect my comment to engage in zero chit-chat. If your comment is not directly related to the game, it does not belong at the table. I'm here to defend the Imperium from heretics and not make friends. I like that. That's a method. Telly says, nice. That's a real method approach to the interaction. Shut out the unclean. Nice comments. Adam, I'm just going to go straight in and read this. Hope he's not snuck any names in for me. Also, if you aren't adhering to formal dress code while deploying your Eldar, then you're not welcome at my game. I do not deserve to be around unclean rabble when engaging in upper class gameplay.
Keep the paws out. # keep the paws. To be fair, the entry level.
Adam's got a strong take on that.
To be fair, the entry level for Warhammer would essentially do that anyway. It's definitely not a working class sport, is it?
No. Although we did have. Who were telling us it was Callum on the stream on Thursday was telling us he played someone who had toy zoo animals for like 40k.
Nah, man.
Yeah. Just literally like early learning centre type stuff. Oh, yeah. So let's keep us on track. We're doing an excellent job of staying on track despite the pure propaganda being churned up by the chat. But there's definitely something about how you present at the table and thinking about what you're dealing with and try to match it. You don't have to. You can just be you all the time. But like there is, I think you would demonstrate some flex. I think if you came across someone who clearly like was a bit quiet or whatever, I don't think you'd be over. But you're very emotionally intelligent. You're aware of what's going on across the table, and I guess that's the key bit I was getting at. There's like intelligence that makes you really, can make you really analytical. But the nature of sitting with someone for 3 hours playing a super random game, rolling dice, there's a bit of emotional intelligence needed to be like, how does this other person want to play the game, and how can we make this experience as fun as possible? A bit like Grindr.
I'm not sure if this is relevant to this point exactly, but I think you need to understand almost what the game means to someone as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
For some people, this game means a lot more than others, if you know what I mean. So some people, build their whole existence around the fact that I play 40k, I do this, I do that. And, you want to make sure that you involve that interaction with it as well. There's nothing worse than, like, turning up. Say you're playing someone like that and you just turn up and go, fuck it. Oh, sorry.
Do you know what, Liam? Seriously.
It's been like, I hate 40k, this is rubbish, GW
That's
are
three
rubbish.
F words we've had on this show now.
Mate, it's not as bad as we used
carry on,
to do.
but just concentrate, because we're both effing.
I'm really struggling to try and say this without actually.
All right. Well, just think about your wise words that you said the other week on the stream, okay?
Being very careful with the word I say next. Prematurely blown their load.
just really concentrate on the words that you say next.
If someone is that way inclined and their structure is built around the fact that 40k is very, very important to them, you don't then come in and start, slating the game, slating the company, and it's understanding that interaction, isn't it? And understanding as you play the game, you want it to be a game that everyone enjoys because it means a lot to certain people, doesn't it?
You don't want to upset the people that take it very seriously. Although I imagine there is some fun in having a little prod, and a little wind up. But once, if it's particularly at a tournament, once the game started, it's important to let people enjoy it. There was some bits that we talked about which were very specific So, like, when you get to the table, how do you approach offering to explain what rules do and things like that?
I just, well, the way I've always done it is I've always got my army out and I've put it in. There's nothing worse than someone that turns up and their army's just in a pile on the table, like literally not split into units or anything.
Sort of a Tyrannid player type.
Yeah.
Tyrannid players are
And
common
it's
for this.
and,
Out there, just
and
a
you,
big
I literally
mound
put
of
everything in the units with the heroes that are in each unit now, and then just go through each unit individually and explain it. But and it's you get to the point of like at Beachhead, I played someone, a Tyranids player, and turned up, lovely guy, really nice guy, but obviously was like slightly younger, but really, really into the hobby, and you could see the passion from him being in the hobby. And then you looked at his list, and he was like, "I've got 3 screamer killers." They're so, and you're just thinking,
Was it me when I played you on stream?
no,
Okay, I just had one.
he was better than you. And he was literally like so enthusiastic about these screamer killers, and he was like, I love the model, I love the lore, I love everything about them. He's like, I can't wait to charge into, like, I can't wait for combat, blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh no,
how did
because
this
he's
go?
going to charge into my custodes, and then I'm going to fight first, and I'm going to kill them, which is what happened. And I was like, oh, I feel really bad.
But did he have fun?
He had fun because he was rolling dice, and he got his models into combat, which is what he wanted to do.
That's what he came to the table for.
But you recognise that and then you. For me, I was then going, oh yeah, like tell me about the lore for the screamer killers. Like, why do you like the model so much? Like, just chatting to him because he obviously showed some passion in that model and that element of the game, which I think is important as well. It's like, there's nothing worse than someone coming up and going, I really like this model, and you go, yeah, it looks a bit rubbish that, doesn't it? Kind of just play the game now.
Yeah, fair. That's just showing your flexibility to make sure people have a good game, mate. I think that's a kind part. Telly asked a question: do you touch your opponents?
No.
Thankfully, he said dice after that. So
So that's one of my pet hates.
Oh, I've re-rolled your dice before.
Oh, I hate when people do that. It really
I've done that a
annoys
lot
me, and I
against you.
don't know why it annoys. No, it's different when it's you.
You should have said, because I've done that quite a lot.
No,
Where
it's
we've
different when
done a
it's-
bunch of
it's
hits, and then I'm
different when
like,
it's you or like one of the boys that I'm like really close. When you're at a tournament and you roll really well, and then someone goes, "Oh, just roll your dice." You're like, "No, get off my dice. They're
"Cook
my
them up
dice.
nice." Yeah, they've been microwaved for
They're my
days.
dice. I know which ones are like heavy."
They've been altered for this roll. Get your hands off my dice.
But do you not find that annoying?
Yeah, no, at a tournament, like if we're playing a chill game or whatever round here, then I don't care. If I was playing a tournament and people were like consistently touching and rolling my dice, I'd start to do my head in a bit. Because it do my head in when they like get mixed up in their dice or like I don't know. I don't care if it's on stream or something or it's a chill game.
I'm all about good dice etiquette as well.
That dice bag you have is literally the worst thing I've ever seen.
I haven't been using it
It's
recently because you gave me so much grief about it. I've
my
gone back to using a
God.
little one.
I'm super glad about that. Like, have we shown people? I think I might have shown it actually a few episodes ago, when you actually got it out. Have I shown people the picture of this thing?
Yeah, when I've got it hung from my groin.
He was literally hanging it from his groin, swinging it. Did I put you off using it?
Yeah, I don't use it.
Oh,
anymore.
I'm sorry, mate. Oh, I kind of feel like I'm doing the Lord's
No,
work
but do you
there,
know
to be
what?
honest.
Do you know why though? Because I got to the point where I was turning up with so much stuff. This is another thing as well. Table etiquette. Turning up with so much stuff, and one of the boys has actually raised this. Do you roll in another man's dice tray? Like, and this is the thing. It's like there's nothing worse.
Yeah, you shouldn't be rolling another man's dice tray. That's crossing a line.
But say you turn up, right, and you're at an event, and you're wall to wall with the next people.
Which is most events.
Which is all events,
be
yeah.
fair.
I don't remember playing one that wasn't like this. And you end up literally like you both got dice trays that you're wandering around with moving. I've got a massive dice bag that's in the way. You've got cards now that are all over the place. Like you've got models that are died that are in there, models in reserve that are over here. Like just general good table housekeeping is a thing.
This is very important.
So I've been the dice tray off now. I've been the massive dice bag
Really?
off.
You've
Yeah.
been the dice tray off?
Yeah, because I just rolled on the table.
Oh, no.
Because
no,
all I was
no, you
finding
can't
was that
do
I was just moving this dice tray. I was spending more time worried about where the
Oh,
poxy
no,
dice
I'm
tray
against
was.
this. I'm pushing back here.
But do you not find it really annoying?
Oh,
just
do you know what
keep
annoys me?
moving
I
the
call
dice
them
tray around?
no cluster bombs. I find them.
When people just go
oh
like
my
that.
god! Rob's in the chat. Rob, you do this. I've played you at the club. Rob, I'll just write 20 attacks and then rolls them and then just like, oh, well, that's everywhere. Like, what are we going to do with it? What are we going to do with this? What are we going to do with this? It's
I'm a tidy roller.
You're not a tidy roller.
I am. Only on here when we were fizzing them into the old dice.
When we do the streams on here, I get hit by more dice off you than anything else. It's like playing paintball.
Who was worse at rolling dice out of the tray, me or you?
Yeah, I was also bad at rolling the dice. I called you Big Lebowski because you were bowling them out the thing and bouncing out the tray. See, Rob admits it, that is him. He literally, right, 30 attacks. You're like, right, great. Well, that's a game in itself. And also, how do we know what's what? There's pinging around everywhere.
Well, the worst bit is when you do that, and so this is why I'd go good housekeeping, good opponent, having different dice to mark wounds, having different dice to mark.
Yeah, I got in trouble for this.
My little red dice are what I want mark wounds with. I've got a green dice that I keep count of my CP with. I've got.
This is good
I
etiquette.
only roll my yellow and my Cosbys. They're the only dice I'll roll for generals. Honestly, because otherwise, I've seen people before like marking their wounds with like actual normal, just their normal dice,
no,
then
you
just
can't do
roll
that.
in,
Yeah,
and then it's all, and you're like,
you can't do that. That's
what
why
is
you need a
going
dice tray.
on?
I bad AK. I got in trouble for doing my count up on my knights. That really annoys people when I count the wounds up rather than down.
Mate, that's awful.
That really irritates people.
That is absolutely shocking behaviour.
Nah, I'm down
Anyone
for
that
it.
counts up should be kicked straight out of this hobby.
I count up.
Why?
Well, it's obvious because like I've got a model with like 22 wounds or whatever.
Yeah, just use a D20.
I'm not a role player, mate. I'm not carrying D20s around in your wizard's hat or whatever you've got.
Oh god!
Hey, have you seen my new dice bag, lads? Me wizard.
Oh, have a look at
How many? No, let's go away from there. What about? So before we go on to look at the Meta Monday stats, we've got the After Dark show in 20 minutes for members. Winning or losing, timing is interesting. You want to play at a decent speed, don't you? You don't want to. There's a balance here, isn't there, Liam, between playing too fast that you make it uncomfortable for the opponent. They don't know what's going on. It's almost a bit arrogant playing too fast.
There's nothing worse than someone playing too fast. Like I don't mind someone playing slow because I play quite quickly anyway. So I always feel that I'm going to get through the 3 hours.
Yeah, you don't.
Like, I think mine and Tom's first game on Monday, we were touch and go for time, and me and Tom were like, we're going to run out of time here, boys. So we just sped up because we knew we were like, right, this is what we're doing, and like both of us would then start moving separately. And there's good etiquette at like a doubles tournament. If you're like, if I'm attacking, say it's me and you playing like Adam and Matt, and I'm attacking Adam's unit and you're attacking Matt's unit, well then we just roll. Let's just do that as almost two separate things, rather than one of you doing it, the other two just standing there looking at each other, and then doing it like
sensible
and stuff like that. But there's nothing worse than someone just literally bowling dice all over the table, going that's shooting that, bowling a load of dice, going, and then going, you got 10 saves. You're like, I don't even know what's shooting at the moment. I don't even know what's going on. Like, what's going on?
That's not fun.
I haven't even had a chance to use a strat or anything. You've just started rolling dice, mate.
And then the other side is people just playing so horrendously, awfully slow.
Oh, mate, there's nothing worse than people that literally go, measure, put a dice, measure, put a dice, measure, put a dice, measure, put a dice. Right. No, I'm going to leave them there. Right, measure, put a dice, measure. No, I'm just going to move them half their movement. You're like, for God's sake, guys. Like,
yeah, no, that is not fun.
There's got to be a happy medium between fast and slow pay.
Absolutely. Dave BFTBG, didn't you get 0 favourite games votes of Throne of Skulls doubles last year as the team just stop Orcs? I have absolutely no idea, but it's fairly likely because the end game of that I was just absolutely shot.
Oh really?
I was so hung. I was such a mess.
Is this the one where you play the people with hats?
That's probably him. Probably come on to trollers and start a campaign of misinformation and aggression. I was so done. I was watching the Ashes.
What a surprise! You watching some sport while
I think I've told this.
On. Paul's MO.
That was my first.
I only play 40k when there's a sports event I can watch on my phone and be absolutely distracted by what's going on.
That was such a foul move. I think these guys killed a Castellan before I'd even done anything. Literally didn't even activate anything. Hung over, I said, Telly.
You just do this.
I can't deal with these. And then Telly after came up and said, you were right in that game.
Yeah.
So if you know me all my life, tell you know what I'm about. 40k nerds. In Bournemouth, I played a competitive player who put me on the clock, told me what would count as cocked dice, and played at 1,000,000 miles per hour. No fun.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound it, my friend.
I played someone at Bournemouth that was like that, put me on the clock, and then literally like the place, you know the objective markers. If it was half on or half up, the objective markers are like 2 mil thick, aren't they?
Yeah.
And it was half. He'd be like, "That's cocked," and then you'd be like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'll re-roll it then." And then he'd roll it, and like some of his were like that, but they were hits. He'd be like, "Yeah, it's all good."
Oh,
and you'd be like,
the dice master.
I can't be bothered with. I can't. And I was like, I'm gonna lose. So I can't even be bothered.
Good.
Like,
See, I'm obviously pro dice trayer. It's really important at the beginning of the game, if you've got a dice tray, to say what happens if a dice pops out the tray.
doesn't count.
Yeah, that's why I say if it's not in the tray.
If it's not in the tray. If you're rolling in a dice tray, if it's not in the tray, it doesn't count.
But then you do
Unless
get the
you randomly
like,
shout count as it hits
it
the
bounces
floor.
out, it's a 6, and they're like, look at you, look at the dice, look at you, look at the dice.
Oh,
like,
mate, the
come
worst
on.
bit is when we haven't got any dice to do it. When you roll them all and one pops out and it's a 6 and they just pick it up and put it back in the tray. You're like, no, that's not how we play this.
Adam has had some great comments in the chat that we've not read out with his rules, which have been hilarious. He also asked, as an Australian, he's watching the Ashes during Warhammer Racist. This is like
asking for an Australian
we should
in
have
Australia.
a feature. We should have a feature each week called as an Italian living in Italy, where we ask some of 40k's big questions. The last bit we're going to talk about on how to be a good opponent. Are you a good loser?
Nah.
God, we've really evaluated ourselves here, haven't we?
I don't know. Am I a good loser? I think if I've played well and I lose, fine. Like, yeah, I've learned something from it. I feel if I've played poorly and I lose, I might get more annoyed at myself than my opponent. The thing that I hate, the way I hate losing, is when you turn up to the table and you can tell that the opponent, especially in like friendly-ish games, when you can tell the opponent's tailored their list to beat you. And you turn up and you're like, oh, really? Like, what? Why? Like, you'd never put that unit in an army normally. It just seems really convenient that it's... That's
why you got to not tell people what you're playing.
You're the king of doing that, yeah.
But I just say, oh yeah, I'll just turn it with just turn it with a Warhammer 40,000 list and I'll play a faction. You do the same. Yeah. I don't like the whole, like, what are you playing, what's the thing? If it's a mate that I know, I don't care.
But you go through it before you play anyway. So
I
don't care. Like, with the league at King and Queen, I think I've looked at the sisters list only because me and Adam were chatting about it. The other list I haven't even looked at. Why? What am I going to do? What? So I'm going to read someone else's list and go, oh, yeah, he's got X amount of these Votan. Well, he's going to tell me what they do before we start anyway. Surely. Oh.
Yeah, list tailoring is bad. Good Dead or Alive in the chat, Shane Warne. That is a good... dead.
He's dead now, isn't he?
He's dead, yeah. It's a good Dead or Alive. We had a good game of Dead or Alive on the stream on Thursday. Some excellent Dead or Alives.
Oh, really?
Very strong Dead or Alives. Go back and watch the stream, folks. We've 15 minutes before we do the After Dark, so I'm going to move us on to the Meta Monday. Look, are you taking them off?
Yeah, I need to take them off. Mine are steamed up because I've been...
Yours actually are quite uncomfortable compared to mine. We can always switch.
They weigh about £4. That's the problem. What you don't realise is they're like weighted. Do you remember like Dragon Ball Z where they used to take off their weighted armour and it made them more powerful?
No, I'm not a loser, mate. I don't watch it. I'm only joking. No, I've never watched Dragon Ball Z. No, just Gladiators.
We know why you watch Gladiators. Which one's your favourite? Who's your favourite Gladiator?
What, of the new ones?
Yeah.
Oh, I actually don't know any of them. I don't know. I only know Diamond.
Of course you only know Diamond.
But I don't know if that's the answer.
Of course you only know Diamond.
Is this the only one I know?
Oh yeah, convenient.
The others I just know Legend.
Do we need to check your search history?
I know I've mentioned Grinder 3 times in this episode, which is a record.
I have seen a warning come up over there for something as well.
What, we had a warning?
On the thing, warning.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. It's that regularly pops up.
Okay.
Meta Monday, 1,210 players, 18 events, 13 different factions. You've had a read through this, haven't you, my friend?
I think looking through these results is showing that this is in a really, really good place at the moment. Because I think there's, like it says at the top...
What is that?
I don't know. That's not a bit of me, if I'm honest.
JCMS, who hangs out on our Discord. Everybody come join our Discord.
Dayglow Magnus.
That's too much, is that?
I think there's really good, because it's showing that there's a lot of factions that can win events at the moment. A lot of factions that are winning events. And the ones that were necessarily the ones that we all thought were going to be a problem are not necessarily the problem at this moment in time. So, you know, you look through it and you see a lot of this Necrons hypercrypt, but there's not that many Necrons hypercrypt winning. And I think this goes back to the point of the whole thing with this Vanguard list. That, yeah, it's really good, but if you're playing in the top 1% of people playing it, then it's really good.
Yeah.
If you're not, and people understand what to do against it,
then you're just going, where can I put my Inceptors?
Yeah, where can I actually drop anything? You've screened the whole board out. Like,
I don't have any scouts left.
Yeah, and you just end up in this weird situation where you're playing some list that some 1% player has made that is playing it week in, week out, and playing 20 games a week with it, and you're rolling up to the club once a week trying to play this ridiculous list. I think there's, Thousand Suns have won some. Look,
how did Necrons do? 53%. Well, that's reassuring. So we've been worried about Necrons going absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, but if you go up a minute, look, the list of all the... So
Meta Monday's in the chat as well. We appreciate you doing all this, mate.
Mate, Black Templars, Eldar, Chaos Demons, Chaos Knights, Imperial Knights, Votan, Chikari, GSE, World Eaters, Orcs, Sisters, Blood Angels. Blood Angels winning an event. CSM, Guard, or Dark Angels. All did well this week, mate. That's all really won an event. It's all good, mate.
Tyranids we've talked about a bit on the Meta Mondays.
Custodies have dropped again. Everyone was going, Custodies are going to be a big problem. They are in certain
Who
matchups.
keeps them in check? Tau? Is it Tau that keep Custodians in check? They do a little bit,
I think it's Tau, and there's someone else that does as well.
Admech, we always... no one plays Admech, that's the problem. I've been called out in the chat.
What someone said in the chat?
No, it's fine. Nicholas says, no lugs for DBZ. Liam is officially cooler than you, Paul. Well, he has got much sparklier, better glasses. I have love for all teams. If I've ever had a bad experience, it's due to me being hungover and grumpy. I have no issue with anybody.
Mate,
sometimes I find people a bit too much, but I'm also just sometimes a grumpy pain in the ass.
But no, I literally have not thrown my toys out the pram, but my worst gaming experience since I got back into 40k.
Here we go.
I've shared this before, and I played someone at Dice Saloon, and they tailored their list to beat me, and I was tabled by turn 2, and I literally just packed my stuff up and walked off.
I was salty. That's next level. You're allowed to be salty there.
I was like, do you know when you know that someone's done it as well, and they were trying to be nice about the fact they'd done it, and I was like, this is not a bit me.
Name and shame.
Nah, mate. Because I'm quite happy to call out people I'm probably never going to meet, but I could actually bump into this person again down at Brighton.
Don't do it.
So, yeah, but mate.
Custodies, I'm glad of sitting on a middle ground. I think Custodies are a great army. Easy to collect, fun to see on the table. I'm glad they're not
one of the weird things I found about Custodies is this, there's a certain mission. So this vital ground on Crucible of Battle seems to be a serious problem for Custodies players. 22 Custodies players at that one event, 15 out of 22 lost on that mission, including the top 3 players. So they're saying he's now even getting into the point of looking at certain missions, they're doing worse. And I think so me and Tom found this in the last game that we played at the weekend. It's the last game we played, we both had a Custodies player. So there was me, and then Louis was playing Custodies for Mind Goblins. Then we had Orcs, and they had Tau. And we literally spent the whole game. So you had your home objective. So you only had to control 1, control 2 to score max primary. Then it was the one where you get the big 25-point swing at the end.
Yeah.
So we literally held our home, held the one that was behind the terrain. They held their home, held the one behind the terrain. And then we both put a unit of Custodies in the middle, literally just looking at each other. And we just literally, by turn 5, no one took the middle. Because we were everyone was just stood there looking at each other.
That always feels like the one whoever goes last wins.
Yeah, that's
that one. That's
Guess what?
You didn't go last.
We went last. Guess what?
Oh, and
we didn't win.
It's because you played the mind men.
Yeah.
Good. Tom, you should have got in the Reds more.
Really good players, really good guys, to be fair to them.
Yeah, no,
really
they're great.
Good guys.
You're all good guys. You're all good men. You're all...
It's not going to work for me.
That was the wrong soundboard.
Normal men.
Have you seriously got a whole soundboard of just my voice?
Yeah, I've got an entire soundboard of your voice.
For me, maybe that is too expensive. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you have to. Same as this. You can go on eBay and you can go and buy yourself a second-hand pair of boots. Being very careful with the word I say next. Prematurely blown their load. I've only played one game. It's not going to work for me. Yeah. There was none of that.
Yeah. It was for the After That show where I was going to prank call people, but then was wisely advised to don't prank call people on a live YouTube show. You will get in trouble.
I think I've said... Do you know what the best bit about that is? Who are the two people that have told you not to do that?
You
me and Tom.
Yeah, that is interesting.
You know that you're on thin ice when it's me and Tom
if
telling you not
like,
to do stuff.
Don't do that. It's a bad idea. I think, okay, it's an awful idea. Why did I ever think of it?
Yeah, like that's a pretty dicey move. If you're thinking, if me and Tom out of everyone are like,
don't do
probably
that.
not. Let's probably not do that.
It is a sign. Question from the chat. Question for Met Monday in the future. Will it cover old world as more data emerges? For now, Met Monday is going to be stayed focused on 40k. We're doing Meta Mondays and the streams on a Thursday. In the short term, definitely to help build the algorithm. Mm-hmm. I was going too random, so we're just sticking to those two. But there is chat about us creating a specific old world channel to do more stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will let people know on the Discord. But we are definitely going to do some old world streams, and we're definitely going to make more old world content. I'm just being careful about the algorithm, but there's loads of discussions afoot, and there's lots more stuff coming for both 40k and old world. So stay tuned and appreciate you.
Meta Monday saying it's he's saying that average, like what we're saying, average Space Marine players should go for the Firestorm or Gladius Task Force. So you have a lot of these, and I don't want to say it as like being mean, but like I'd class myself in that an average player trying to play these lists, and it just you don't get enough reps into it to understand the interactions. I think you found this when you tried to play that list, didn't you?
I loved it. I was really enjoying it. I had some really good games against it. It was a sort of list because of the games that I've not allowed to mention. I really like lists where there's a big ceiling. It's not just like I've learned how to play this list now. It just does a thing, and then like hopefully the matchup's good. I really like lists where you have got like a load of flex to get really good with the list and have loads of different ways of playing with it and lots of different styles. Yeah. It's having the time to play the list enough to get to that level. Yeah. And I think some people see a list that's doing really well. Because there are some lists you can just pick up and be good with it off the bat. Because like you can get it, learn it, play it, and it's effective. But others, like you got to grind it.
I think the thing is as well is you look at certain armies and they're a complete stat check, aren't they? Like you look at Custodes. I can wander all my Custodes up into the middle of the board and just hope to roll 4-ups. And if I roll enough 4-ups, you're not winning. Because you're not killing the models.
That's why Custodes can just be so frustrating sometimes.
But there is way more to them than just doing that. But you can do that if you want to.
It's super solid.
Yeah, and it'll win you some games because eventually the averages will go in your favour.
Yeah.
And you'll lose other games in turn 2 because everything's dead because you didn't roll any 4-ups.
It's the old can you roll a 4-up classic Custodes brace and send them to the board. Adam said something in chat which I feel like is one of the traps for me to read. Paul, do you think Uraba stood? Oh, well done.
I don't get it.
Well, you are a B word. He's just come.
Oh.
Adam, you remember, so you get away with it, but that is a yellow card. So we've had both Adam and Tom yellow carded. 3 yellow card offences. You'll be banned for a stream. So that's an official warning for having me say swear words on chat.
What's Nick said? Played 45 games of 10th edition, trying to get Vanguard Invader to work, and it has really shown that Tyranids need a universal durability buff. Not looking lore accurate at all.
Yeah, Tyranids need something. Tyranids need a little tickle. Tyranids need a tickle.
It feels like the Tyranid Vanguard list should have been like the Space Marine one.
Yeah, it's just...
It just feels like it was almost the wrong way around.
Because that's the list I've got. I literally have got it to be ready to be painted up. And I was really excited about Tyranids, but it's just a bit it just dies. Like those that you can get a list with a couple of really good warrior units with the primes that just get in your face, but they hit. Hard. But they just die. It just all dies to like a stiff breeze. The Death Leaper's amazing. The Lictors are really cool.
Death Leaper model is so good.
Oh man, I've got it up there. It's
so
awesome.
good.
It's the best model. The Neurolictors are great, but the Lictors just don't. In your head, you think this is exactly how Tyranids should be playing. A really cool, ambushy, jump out of nowhere, in your face really early on. But it just died. Overwatch
pumps it.
Overwatch pumps it, and it's not very durable. Yeah, Gene Stealers with Broodlord's good. And the Gene Stealer having the points reduction makes me think that list might have a bit more viability if you go over a couple of units of Gene Stealers and Broodlords.
Every time I've played the Gene Stealers with the Broodlord, people are so eager to run it at you. And I understand that's what it does. It's got the scout. But it's like when you play Grey Knights and they keep picking stuff up and you're like, just because you can do it doesn't mean you have to do it. Yeah, like same as being very careful. For me, maybe that is. I've only played one game. It's not going to work for me.
I can't find the soundboard.
Just because you can do something doesn't mean you have to. Yeah, and it feels a little bit like that.
It's great.
With
It's a good little. It's a
it-
very wise saying.
you know, and you're like, and they always just run them, and you're like game 1 at Bournemouth, ran his gene stealers towards an objective out in the open, and I was like, yeah, I don't have a lot of shooting,
Yeah, but I'm just going to mow them down.
but I'm still going to kill them.
They've got the strat that means you can't shoot unless you're within 12.
Yeah,
But then
only,
it's CP heavy. It just ends up being quite
only if
CP
you're
heavy.
playing that. He wasn't playing. He was playing the.
Oh, he's not playing Vanguard.
No, because the way to play it is play them in Invasion Fleet, isn't it, for the sustained?
Oh, I don't know. I quite like it in Vanguard. Anyway, we're approaching the members only section at 9 o'clock where we're going to talk about. Can we say what we're going to talk about?
You're going to do an Ask Me Anything.
We're going to ask me anything, and we're going to tell some stories of edibles, edible stories which came up recently at an event, which members will find out more about. And we're going to do a random ask me anything. So appreciate members that join us for that. It is on the channel. You all right, mate?
Yeah, just checking Bareback's text, didn't he?
Oh boy,
Mate, he had a few beers, didn't he? And then fucking, you know, he got a bit wavy this evening.
He's got a bit cheeky. Well, maybe he'll join us on the stream and we'll find out what he's been up to.
Right,
Liam, thank you, my friend. That was great chat.
Thank you, chat.
Appreciate lots of chat there. Appreciate all the comments in the chat. Like and subscribe. Check out our stream on Thursday. Tune in on Thursday for another game. Who have I got on Thursday?
You have got Adam and Stu.
And Stu.
Guard versus Sisters.
That'll be a lively game.
That'll be
Two
a
nuts, that
proper-
boys.
proper
facing
decent
it off.
game, to be
That'll be a
fair
good
as
old
well.
rumble. As always, appreciate you all. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. Join us on the Discord. Enjoy your Warhammer 40,000 and members. We will see you in 3 minutes. And we won't be late. I promise.